I'm Randy.
And I'm Colton.
We are students here at Metropolitan Community College, Business and Technology, the Cisco Academy.
And today I'm going to show you how to perform password recovery on a 1941 series Cisco router.
And I'm going to show you how to do password recovery on a Cisco 2960 switch.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boot up the router and we're going to try and enter privileged exec mode. There's a password and we don't know the password. This can be caused by an employee who leaves and never made any good documentation, or put in the wrong password, or maybe you just put in one and you don't remember what it is. So because this password's already in place, we're going to have to reload the router and enter password recovery mode.
Alright, so next what you're going to do is you're going to shut the router off for about 5 seconds.
Alright, so as soon as you restart, you want to hit Control Break while it's booting. As soon as you start seeing text, just go ahead and hit Control Break. This will take you into Raman. Now with this, you can access password recovery. So the first thing you want to do is type conf reg 0x2 142. Hit enter and then type reset. Now resetting it will reload the router and you should be able to access the router as you would. So now that the router is booted back up, what you're going to want to do is enter privileged exec mode. So get in there and you're going to want to copy your startup config to your running config. So this gives you back your host name or any other settings you might have set, but this also gives you back the password. So from here, since the password is an enable password, all you have to do is go conf T to enter configuration mode and then set a new password. So enable secret Cisco. This is the new password. And then in the configuration mode, you want to type config 0x2102. What this command does is it's going to keep in mind the startup configuration the next time you boot up, rather than the default settings. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to copy the running config to the startup config now that you have your new password. Then you want to exit. And now that your new password works, you can go ahead and reload or continue with your configuration.
We have a Cisco 2960 switch that we cannot access due to the fact we don't have a password. The previous employee left the company without giving us all the passwords needed. As we try a few of the common passwords like password, we cannot get into the switch. So we will start the password recovery on the Cisco 2960 switch.
So first what you're going to need to do with the switch, because there is no power switch on it, you want to take out the power cord and leave it out for about 5 to 10 seconds. Now once you have it out, you want to plug it back in and immediately hold down on the mode button. Now you want to wait for this to flash amber. And when it does, you'll be in the mode in which you can recover the passwords.
The switch comes up to Flash Init, Load Helper, and Boot. We will go to Flash Init. After that, we go and see what's listed, our files. So we do dir flash. We look for the config file, which is config.text. We will have to rename that config file, so we will rename it to config text.old. Once we get done with this, we will show our directory again to show that it has been changed. Now we will boot the switch. Once the switch starts its rebooting, you will be asked, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? You will type no at that prompt. Now you can see that you are in the switch. We can go into enable mode. So now let's start our password recovery. We will need to rename our config file from config.text.old to config.text. As you can see now, we have our config.text back. Now we will need to copy this. So we will do a copy config.text system to a running config. Our switch has now been put back to the original configuration. As you can see by the host name, it's now S1. Now we can go in and change our passwords. Once we change our passwords, we will now need to save a copy of the running configuration. We have now just did a password recovery on a Cisco 2960 switch. We want to thank you today for watching this video.
We hope you learned something.
Remember to keep your passwords secure and in a safe location.
And always keep your disgruntled employees at bay.